Her pre-med boyfriend is a dating school dropout.
It's like a threesome. Him, me, and the books.
But her blind date was light on reading.
No medical books.
Long on romance.
He gave me this long, passionate kiss for about 20 minutes.
After he has a study date.
I'm sure he pulled out one of his books and started studying.
Pre-med style.
I had to give a little examination all over her body.
Will the diagnosis be stay together?
She has the most interesting tattoo in the most interesting place.
Or change of heart?
Welcome to Change of Heart. This is a show where couples who've reached a crossroads in their relationship voluntarily go on one blind date with someone new. So let's meet our couple. Now, she's in the Air Force. He's a grad student. They met at the gym when her fighting form caught his eye. Now, lifting weights has turned to romantic dates, and they've been working up a sweat together for the past 6 months. Please welcome Robert Evans and Micole Spencer. Now, you guys are on the show because things haven't been working out the way you had hoped so. Micole, let me start with you. Is Robert different, though, than some of the guys you've dated that were in the military?
Oh, definitely. He's much more romantic. Military guys are rigid. He leaves roses on my car and writes me poems.
That's nice to hear.
I like
and Robert,
that.
what kind of girlfriend is Micole?
Oh, Micole is the best girlfriend I've ever had. She buys me all kinds of things. You know, one time she bought me this gold and diamond bracelet just to match my eyes. And she said just because she wants me to look good.
All right, Micole, you met in a really healthy situation. You met at the gym. What's it like when you two of you go to there now?
He's like a drill sergeant. He drills me. It's like basic training 10 times over.
Theresa, all I'm doing is training my woman.
Weights,
That's all
and
I'm
he
doing.
pushed me really hard.
That's the best way to keep a woman
pushes
in line.
me.
Yeah, but Robert, relationships, don't train them at the gym and don't teach them how to drive. Those are two things you shouldn't do.
And he pushes me.
All right, Robert, when you're at the gym, what are you working her out so hard for?
Well, you know, sometimes Micole has this problem to throw old boyfriends up in my face. And, you know, it's like, even, for example, you know, we went out on Valentine's Day. And I took her to a real nice restaurant, the best that I could afford.
It's very good. I liked it.
You know, at the end of the day, you know, we're kind of getting close. I lean over and she says, you know what? My last boyfriend took me to France for Valentine's Day.
I enjoyed the restaurant. It was very nice.
Throwing it at him. All right, now, Robert, you're in grad school, so you're a starving student. I guess is that a problem or not?
Like I said, she's always throwing that in my face. It's like every time.
Well, he doesn't pay any
spoil
attention to me.
Oh, come on.
It's always his books.
I'm trying to be a heart surgeon.
I know.
And I need
and
to.
I should be your
it's
first
called
priority.
And
I'm your first one.
Well, if you want to be part of my future, you should respect my priority.
Yeah, being a heart surgeon, that sounds pretty complicated. So are you saying there's no balance between the two of you in school?
None at all. None at all. When we go out, it's like a threesome. Him, me, and the books in the back seat.
He's always got the school books.
Exactly. We go out to dinner. He pulls out the books before the waiter comes over with the menu.
I'm just trying to be focused. That's all it is.
Right.
You know?
On the
Science
books
is
and
very
not
hard.
me.
Well, you know, I'm just thinking about our future.
I should be your number one priority.
Oh, well, let me ask you, Robert, then with your schedule being as crazy as it is, being a heart surgeon and whatever, studying for that, does Micole sort of reach out to you and make it easier for you to get together?
Now, see, Micole is never at my beck and call like every woman should be.
Well, he expects me to be there all the time.
I mean,
like every woman should be?
Like you said, it's a priority. If I call her, I don't care if
at
it's 11.
7 o'clock on Friday night.
I don't care if it's 11 o'clock at Friday night. You know, she drops her plans and be's with her man.
No way. I'm not going to be your second call, Robert.
You need to be.
All right, Micole, let's talk about the times that you actually do spend some time together. A night out, what's that like?
Oh, we go to the club, and there he is dancing with all the big women in the clubs. He leaves me standing at the wall.
Wait, what do you mean, big women?
The big women. He goes from one big person to the next. He says they all need love, too. So they're like hungry hippos after a piece of candy. Yeah. And he leaves me standing there.
Micole, look at her. She's just so pretty. She's so bougie. She doesn't even want to sweat.
But
I'm like, damn. You know, I mean, what we come here for? She just comes to look cute for all the other women.
All right, Robert, besides you getting busy with the big women, is she happy with the choices that you make, like where you take her?
Oh, she is the most bougiest snot I've ever met in my life.
Right.
Micole will not go anywhere in LA after dark.
Yeah, with the helicopters overhead, we're standing in line at a club.
You know what? I'm from Long Beach. You're safe with me anywhere.
There's cops everywhere.
And that bothers you a little bit.
Exactly. I want to go to an upscale place.
Now, Micole, you tell us why you thought this was a good time for the two of you to come on the show and go on these dates.
I think it's a wake-up call for Robert. He needs to realize that I need some attention. If he doesn't put down the books, then I'll get a new workout partner.
There it is. Micole laying down the law. All right, it seems that Robert and Micole need to doctor up their relationship a little bit. Now, when we come back, we're going to meet the people that they dated, and we'll find out if they're going to stay together or have a change of heart. So stay here. Now, Micole complains that her dates are threesomes. Robert, her, and his medical books. So when he's not studying, he's bullying her at the gym, or he's just ignoring her at the clubs. So we fixed her up with a professional basketball player who has magic fingers and romantic moves. Please welcome Tyrone Merriweather. Robert, I gotta ask you, what kind of books do you think Tyrone's bringing on his dates?
Checkbook. She's expensive. And just because you play and make a little money at Venice Beach does not make you a pro ball player.
The chicken nugget speaks. The chicken nugget speaks.
There you go. Micole, any concerns about going out with Tyrone?
Oh yeah, I was very nervous at first. I've never been on a blind date, and but when I opened the door and I saw this gorgeous 6'6" guy, these gorgeous eyes.
You must have been blind to think he was good looking.
All right, Micole. Tyrone's a professional athlete. Do you think he'd be a drill sergeant if you were working out with him at the gym?
No way. He's
Yeah, he
too
doesn't look man
soft-spoken,
enough.
and he has more respect for me.
That's
More
all right.
respect?
Much more respect.
So, Micole, anything that you noticed right away with Tyrone that made it different than when you're going out with Robert?
No medical books.
Oh, he doesn't look like he
It
can
was him
read.
and I. It was him
I mean,
and
come
I.
on. He probably had
And
a
all
tutor to walk him
attention
through
was here.
college.
He came to focus just on you.
That's right.
And did you ask him, though, if he was a bookworm at all?
Yes, he loves to read magazines.
Oh, whoa. Sports Illustrated, Playboy.
So, Tyrone, what about a restaurant that you went out to? Did you pick something nice that you had never been to before?
We wanted to go to the Cheesecake Factory. It was a little too crowded, so we went across the street to Benihana's, which apparently is where
wait a
she
minute.
took, where she
You
took
went
the
where?
midget, on his birthday.
You went to Benihana?
Yes.
And we had a nice time, very nice
I
time.
know she ordered the most expensive thing on the menu.
Actually, no, she didn't.
What?
Now, Micole, you had been there with Robert on his birthday. How was
Yes.
this date different?
Yeah, Robert refused to talk on our date at Benihana's. However,
Oh, see, I was too
Tyrone
busy
had
eating.
the date, had the whole table going, making
Oh,
him laugh.
see.
Everyone was into the conversation with us.
Quite an entertainer.
Yeah.
he probably, well,
Robert
you know-
gets really quiet.
Well, he probably couldn't see over the table, so that'd be a problem.
Micole, it's fun when you're in a group like that, but what about some alone time since the two of you were on a date?
Well, after dinner, we decided to go to the movies, and we got to the movies, and they were closed, so
Gee,
we got in
good
the car,
planning. Coach
and
didn't tell you about the playbook?
well, we got in the car, and the car wouldn't start.
Oh, what happened? Couldn't
All
get,
right, so you got no movie, then you get into the car and it won't start. What was wrong with it?
couldn't get Daddy's car to start?
It was a 64 Jag. It was my dad's
Damn.
car, and it.
Didn't your
Very
tutor
nice.
teach you to never buy a car before you
ignition
buy a
was
house?
working all night long, and then when we got to go to the movies, the ignition didn't work. So I'm sitting here breaking out in the cold sweat, thinking, what is she thinking?
Yeah,
She's
he
getting a
was
little
real nervous.
agitated.
Right? And Micole, what were you thinking? Were you upset at this point?
It was turned into the date from hell
See.
at that point. And I was very pissed. So I called Robert, and I left a message for him to
No, wait,
come
you're
pick
supposed to
us
call
up.
Tyrone. Isn't that how the song goes?
Wait a minute. You're out with Tyrone and you call Robert to come
Yes.
pick the two of you up?
Yeah, and he returned my call.
And did he come get you?
He returned the call, and he said,
wouldn't fit in my
said,
car.
I wouldn't
Probably
tell him. I
wouldn't.
said no.
I can't
no,
fit
he
in a
didn't come
Matchbox
get
car.
us.
There you go.
All right, so the classic Jag won't start. How did you end up getting her home?
We called a taxi cab driver.
Oh,
And
wow.
We called the cab, and we were on the way home, and I'm feeling kind of bad now. I'm thinking that this
Bro.
whole date is a failure.
was.
But I'm thinking, okay, well, I told her I'd make it up to her a couple
Going to
days later.
halftime.
A couple days later, I'd take her out to a nice place
Wait,
to
a
go
couple
dancing.
days later? What'd you have
Oh,
to do?
really?
Like, go in there. You have to go get some coaching from your private tutor
No,
or
it was
something?
No
halftime.
news for Robert there.
Halftime.
Now, Micole, you
Hope you
you're
came
on
out
a
better
date
than
from
that.
hell. Did it ever turn and become like heaven sent or anything like that?
Oh, yes. We waited on his roommate to come pick him up, and he gave him this long, passionate kiss for about 20 minutes. Yeah. Very good.
Question for your tutor. Have
right.
you ever thought about what you're doing when you're kissing my woman?
All right. Yeah, Robert, they went out on a date. This is what was going to happen. That possibility was there.
Well,
Micole, any indication while you guys were, kissing, any indication from Tyrone how it affected him?
Yeah, actually, he called me the next day to confirm our date for Saturday. And he told me on the way home that he fogged up the windows. He was so high.
It's probably from that bad breath.
Fogging up the windows. All right. Micole, what about the dance club that Tyrone chose for part 2 of the date?
It was very upscale. No police overhead with the spotlights on
Where'd you-
us.
I know you didn't take her in
no,
LA.
No
You know
cops,
she don't
no
go in the hood.
overhead. It was very upscale and
Something more your style. And Tyrone,
exactly.
did she
Probably
seem like she
something
was having a
Orange
good
County.
time?
Yeah, she looked like we both were having a good time. We were dancing. It was a cross between Lambada and Pulp Fiction.
Really?
And we were all into it, and the people around us kind of like backed away and kind of let us, take over the floor.
Stars of the dance floor.
Yeah.
All right. And Tyrone, no car troubles this time out cramping your style.
No, not at all. We after that we went back to her house.
Car? Go get the loaner.
We went back to her
Enterprise.
house, and we weren't gonna watch infomercials, but we decided we'd have a better time if we messed around a little bit.
Infomercials are fooling around. I would hope so. Jeez.
Should have gave her a reading lesson.
All right, and how long was this? Was it longer than an infomercial, the fooling around?
Well, I got up pretty early in the morning, and.
So it sounds like you had a really good time, though. Yeah. What we need to know is a sizzling night of passion, though, with a sexy basketball player be enough to give Micole a change of heart? We're going to find out later. Next, though, we're going to meet the woman that Robert dated, and we'll hear about their date, so stay with us. Heard what happened on Micole's date with Tyrone, and now we're going to meet the woman that Robert dated. Now, Robert says Micole is spoiled, selfish, and refuses to be his beck and call girl. So we fixed him up with a gorgeous Southern gal who's always making time for her man. Please welcome Theresa Nixon. Yeah. Hi, Theresa. Welcome. And you know Robert. Now, Micole, with Robert's time schedule being pretty tight, you think he made plenty of time for her?
I wouldn't be surprised if he gave her 5 minutes.
Oh. Now, Micole, before Robert went out on this date, did you have any special instructions for him?
I said a little bit of dinner, movies, and be done with her.
Terrible.
And be done with her. And Robert, did you follow that advice?
Not at all. Since she had actually taken the time to, she told me she had to work, and I figured, well, she's going to be tired, so I figured since she would respect her man, her date, by giving me some time, I would plan out something very nice and long for her.
And Theresa, could you tell that Robert actually put some effort into planning out the whole night?
Oh, definitely. He was romantic right from the beginning.
And how's that?
Where'd he take you, Denny's? That's romantic to him.
No, he said that's where you last went, so. Anyway, we went to the park, and he had all of his friends involved, and he knew all of the things that I like, and he really personalized the date by bringing me my
You got your bag of M&Ms.
Hey, he brings it to what the date is worth. He brought me strawberries.
You bought her
candy.
You brought her strawberries? Come on, Tiger Woods. What's up?
Come on now. Learn some game,
And Micole, what's better? You don't get that kind of spoiled treatment from Robert?
I mean, I get the wine, but strawberries, and what did you do with them?
All right, Theresa, so you started out at the park. Did he continue to impress you on the date later?
Oh, definitely. We went back to his house and changed for dinner. And
where did you change?
He knew I was a Brian McKnight fan, and so he got on the piano and he played some Brian McKnight. And
Robert, you're being very romantic. Was it easy to concentrate, though, on the music?
It was until she stepped out of the bathroom in that dress.
And then you studied, right?
I mean, when I saw how beautiful she was, that chocolate skin just came and sat next to me and kind of melted. I couldn't even concentrate.
So I guess it was M&M's. I melted in his mouth.
Something about those green ones. Now, Theresa, Micole was complaining earlier, Robert's a med student, so he's very busy, always has his books with him. Did he bring them with you on your date?
For what?
He might need a manual to, see what he needs to do.
That's right.
That weekend's game you have, I suggest you just sit there and wait for your tutor to come.
He needed no instructions. He knew what to do.
Robert, you said Micole's a little bit maybe on the spoiled side. Any ideas about Theresa being that way?
Oh, actually not. We went to a nice, expensive restaurant, the best I could afford for her royal highness.
It was wonderful. Denny's.
Yes, and please. And then, I offered...
Pay? Because he's broke. He doesn't have any money.
You taking a munchkin land?
All right, so Robert, you're at a nice restaurant.
And like I said, I told her she had the liberty to order anything she wanted. And all she did was she just ordered the smallest appetizer.
And that was it.
Yeah, Micole would have just sat there and been like, oh, goodness, I wonder if this place has a VIP lounge. And I wonder if the lobster is fresh.
Oh, Theresa, did you have no appetite, or?
Oh, well, no, I had an appetite for Robert more so. We had a very intelligent conversation, and he kept me laughing the entire time.
Now, Robert, do you agree that the conversation was intelligent?
Not really. I mean, no, don't get me wrong. See, Micole is in the service, but Theresa swears like a sailor.
And he likes class.
All right, so Theresa, more than conversation going on this date?
A little bit more than conversation
Like how
going on
much
this
more?
day. Well, we did go back to his place, and he gave me a wonderful hand massage, and I was very, very tired.
Hand
massage?
You wouldn't be good enough for a body massage like me. You get the
Wonderful
hand as far as it
massage.
goes.
And I was very, very tired, but he insisted on going out dancing, and because it was him, I went.
Okay.
He actually paid attention to you.
Now, Robert, you got her there in your apartment. You're giving her a hand massage. She's relaxed. She's not really energetic. Why did you take her out and not just stay there?
Well, there were still more surprises in store for her.
More
later in the night.
surprises?
Yeah, so,
What else did you bring her?
I had to take her dancing, and I had to, set up some more things.
And Theresa, was there another surprise?
Oh, yes, it was. When I walked in, we went back to his place after dancing. I was exhausted, and as soon as I walk in, there's rose petals all over the floor.
Rose petals?
All over the place.
Well, Robert, you tell us. We heard that her date got pretty intimate. What about yours?
Well, like I said, it was getting kind of late, so, I had these rose petals leading up to a chair, and I had some, wine and some strawberries there and the whipped cream. And, I spent
You do the whipped cream.
Would you have to get on your tippy toes to kiss her?
I wouldn't even know what to do in this situation.
Actually, I was on my knees.
Oh, were you? You have to be. And you still came up to here.
So, wait, let me hear
You were
Robert
on your
finish.
knees while he was studying, right?
Wait, Robert, I got to hear the end of this. What happened?
I mean, like I said, she drank a lot of wine, and I know she was still not as laid back, so it looked like I had to give her a little examination all over her body.
Doctor.
A private study.
And Theresa, did you return the favor?
Oh, of course I did, and I realized I am a lady, and I like to please my man as well.
Yes.
Well, he's my man and I'm his lady.
And she has
Amen.
the most interesting tattoo in the most interesting place.
I'm
And
sure.
how'd you find out?
And Theresa, was the finish of the date
teeny bit.
as romantic and interesting as the beginning?
Oh, most definitely. He was romantic the entire time, and we ended with a nice kiss and a nice hug.
A nice kiss on the cheek, right?
And a nice hug.
gentleman.
Okay.
And a nice hug. And he left me with a very beautiful poem. And a nice
We'd
text.
like to hear that
Another
poem.
place for me.
You
Robert?
You always need someone to read to you, don't you?
Now, will Robert and Micole have a change of heart? During the break, they have to make that decision. We're going to find out what they decide when we come back, so don't go anywhere. Of truth, because during the break, Robert and Micole each made a final decision about the future of their relationship, and there's no turning back now. Will they stay together, or have they had a change of heart? You guys came on the show because, Micole, you said it was time for a wake-up call in the relationship, so that's what we got here. Robert, we're going to start with you. You said you wanted to date somebody that wasn't spoiled, somebody willing to rearrange their schedule to suit you, and somebody that would go anywhere with you and not be so picky. So we hooked you up with Theresa. You guys had a good date. You planned a really long date, and she totally rearranged her schedule for you. You guys went to the park. You went to the piano. You played her some piano music. You went out to dinner, hand massaging that was going on. Somehow she ended up on her knees during the date. We don't know. It was a nice moment for everybody. Robert, your decision. What do you say?
Well, Micole, you and I both traveled all around the world in our different times, and I'm sure that it'd be an easy consensus to agree that Theresa is one of the most interesting people that I've ever met in my life, and she just makes life so wonderful. But I have to be honest and tell you that when I'm with Micole, I always feel like I'm in heaven, and she's my angel, so I'm going to
stay together, he said. Robert, Theresa, sorry things didn't work out for you. Hope you had a good time, though.
I did.
Micole, it's your decision now. You said you wanted to date somebody who wasn't going to bring their school books with them and wouldn't embarrass you at the gym or in public when they're out. Somebody wasn't going to be dancing at the big girls at the club and ignoring you. So you went out with Tyrone. You guys had a really nice date. He did have some car problems, though, and you missed the movie. But he made it up for it in the second date, which went really well. There was some kissing going on there. The date went on to the wee hours of the morning. Seems like you had a really good time. Robert says he wants to stay together. Micole, what do you say?
Well, Tyrone was really good, and our personalities interact very well, and I had a great time with him. He was a very good guy. But after hearing about how his date went with her and the romance, I deserve it, not her.
So stay together. Okay. Tyrone, sorry things didn't work out for you.
Takes a while.
So, Robert and Micole, I both hope you hear the ringing, the wake-up call from here on out. That's our show for today. Thanks to Theresa and Tyrone, and good luck to Robert and Micole. We'll see you next time on Change of Heart.